Genesis 41. 2 long years had passed since Joseph remained in prison. Then one night, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had a dream that troubled him deeply. In his dream, Pharaoh stood by the great river Nile. Suddenly, 7 fat and healthy cows came up from the water and grazed peacefully in the meadow. But then, 7 other cows appeared, ugly, thin, and starving. To Pharaoh's shock, the gaunt cows devoured the fat ones, yet they remained just as thin and ugly as before. Pharaoh awoke disturbed. He fell asleep again, only to dream a second time. This time he saw 7 full and healthy heads of grain growing on a single stalk. Then 7 withered and scorched heads appeared and swallowed up the good ones. Pharaoh awoke once more, his spirit troubled. The next morning, Pharaoh summoned all the magicians and wise men of Egypt. He told them his dreams, but none could explain their meaning. At that moment, the chief cupbearer remembered Joseph. He told Pharaoh, "When you were angry with your servants, both the baker and I were imprisoned. We each had a dream, and a young Hebrew man interpreted them for us. Everything happened exactly as he said." Pharaoh immediately ordered Joseph to be brought from prison. Joseph was shaved, given clean clothes, and presented before the king. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I have dreamed a dream, and no one can explain it. But I have heard that you can." Joseph humbly replied, "It is not me, O king, but God who gives the answer of peace." Then Pharaoh retold his dreams to Joseph. After listening carefully, Joseph said, "The dreams are one. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 healthy cows and the 7 good heads of grain represent 7 years of great abundance. But after them will come 7 years of famine so severe that all the years of plenty will be forgotten. The fact that the dream came twice means it is firmly decided by God, and it will happen soon. Therefore, Pharaoh must appoint a wise and discerning man to oversee the land, gather 1/5 of the harvest during the years of plenty, and store it away for the years of famine." This advice pleased Pharaoh and his officials. Pharaoh asked, "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?" Then he turned to Joseph and said, "Since God has revealed this to you, you shall be over my house. Only in regard to the throne will I be greater than you." Pharaoh placed his own royal signet ring on Joseph's hand, dressed him in fine linen, and placed a gold chain around his neck. He gave him authority over all Egypt and declared, "Without Joseph's word, no one shall lift hand or foot in the land." Pharaoh even gave Joseph a new name, Zaphnath-Paneah, and a wife, Asenath, daughter of a priest of On. Joseph was only 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh and began his mission. As Joseph had foretold, the land of Egypt produced abundantly for 7 years. Joseph collected the surplus and stored it in cities until the grain was beyond measure, like the sand of the sea. During this time, 2 sons were born to him, Manasseh, meaning God has made me forget my troubles, and Ephraim, meaning God has made me fruitful in the land of my suffering. When the 7 years of plenty ended, the 7 years of famine began, just as Joseph had said. The famine spread to all lands, but in Egypt there was bread. When the people cried to Pharaoh for food, he told them, "Go to Joseph, and do whatever he says." Joseph opened the storehouses, providing grain not only to Egypt but to many nations. The famine was severe, and people from all over the world came to Egypt to buy food from Joseph. And so, the young Hebrew slave who once sat in a prison cell, rose to become second only to Pharaoh himself. Through Joseph, God saved nations from famine, showing once again that what man meant for harm, God used for good. My friends, no matter how long the waiting, no matter how deep the pit, God's plans never fail.